Friday night, and we're coming to you live from the
and then he paused.
Horns Forward podcast. So excited, as you guys know, the loudmouth of the South, SAJ. To my right, or to this
DJ.
direction, is
yes, sir, DJ. Hey, you should actually do intros from now on, bro, because you sound like you should be on a channel, like a TV, like TV commercial.
He has the podcast voice. Don't interrupt my intro.
That's true.
Right. Who's this wonderful, beautiful young lady right up here?
210, Brahmasita.
And this mighty brave knight up above me is.
Hello, I'm the Defender.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Welcome.
Super excited to have you here, DC Defender.
Yes, sir. Hey,
how you feeling, man?
Since Mariachi Brahma isn't here, I'm going to do the ASMR for you guys.
Oh, period.
Oh, see, taking this job. Wait till Jorge get on here.
Oh, and it's a Pilsner.
And it's a DC beer. My friend.
Oh, okay. What is that?
Shout out to City State Brewing.
What kind of beer is it?
It's a Pilsner. So it's like a light beer. Like like a Bud Lightish or something.
Okay. Y'all know I don't know.
Well, better than Bud Light, but yes.
Hey.
There you go.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey.
Real quick. DC Defender, I want your information. I want to get some of that beer. So we need to talk offline so we can make that happen.
You have your ASMR ready, Jorge? Because he just popped one open.
He popped one open before you.
Hey, do your announcement. Who are you first? Let the fans know.
I'll pop another one.
Well, I am Mariachi Brahma, and I see that we have a trader in the house wearing a Nationals hat and Arlington Renegades. No.
Wait,
you got your Renegades shades on.
You gotta let me breathe. First of all, I'm back because I missed last week. My son got practice, so I'm here.
I got shades too, DJ.
There you go. See, he on the road now. We good. So, but I have to add though. I'm happy for all of them, but this is the one that I'm happy for because. You know, you see the shield back there. We got the hat on. DC in the house. You know, I'm from DC, so I gotta represent, man.
Look, even the Defender has shades on. See, Jorge, hit him with that. Hit him with that ASMR.
Right there.
Oh yeah, it's always nice to hear that.
Hey, Jorge, he popped too, man. What's up?
So here's the thing. I'm fine with your Nationals hat. That's fine. Okay. You're from DC. I get it. I ain't fine with the Arlington shades. I'm never gonna be fine with the Arlington shades.
That's not the name of the shades. It's just
that's the name. No,
that's what they've been.
Those are the Arlington shades. So, Defender, I want to tell you right now, I have a bone to pick with the Arlington Renegades, and my bone to pick with
me too.
They exist. I know you definitely. I mean, me and you are on the same page there. I can understand why you dislike them. I simply dislike them because they exist. And they're
like the Battlehawks, okay.
Yeah, they're your Battlehawks are my Renegades. They both wear blue, they're both annoying, and they both cause cool people to wear dumb shades. So
the comments, man. I'm laughing at the comments.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Defender, your Battlehawks are my Battlehawks also. They are our sworn enemies. You and me, sir.
Wait, but I mean, I got my Brahma, shirt on. The veteran shirt that Jackie made, but
I can't see, but I can see the Arlington shades. So I'm just
not Arlington shades, bro. They just the I told you so shades. I just use them when I told you so.
Let's stop throwing shade on each other and let's talk to the Defender.
Yeah.
Hello.
I miss y'all too.
I cannot wait to fight.
Talk to me about your inspiration for your costume.
Well, the night before Game 1 in 2020, I walked into a Party City and picked this thing up and started cutting it up. So I showed up looking just like this, to my little additions, little arm leathers and stuff, but looking like this in 2020. And PFT commenter was actually there and posted a photo of me. And then the XFL started using me in like ticket sale ads and stuff. And then there was a Reddit conspiracy that I was a plant. There's no way that someone showed up Game 1 dressed like this.
So the PFT commenter, that's the one that was kicking the field goal, right?
Yeah.
That's
why he was there.
So look, let me give you a little backstory, right? So again, I'm from DC, right? So 2021.
Represent.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Slim.
Are you originally from DC?
I'm from all around the DMV. The city I've lived in the longest, DC, the last 10 years. But
I love it.
My grandmother moved to Brentwood in like the 40s or something.
Rhode Island.
Wow.
Rhode Island Avenue.
And I lived on right off Rhode Island on First and U for like the last 10 years.
I know all about that, man. I've been all up and about the DMV.
Oh, yeah, anyway, right over there by Florida and 7th, Crank Corner over there.
Florida Avenue, yes, sir. You have Florida Avenue Grill?
I don't know what's left. I don't know what's left anymore, man. Yeah, I've been there, but I don't know what's left anymore, man.
So look, all right. So 2020, right? DC, XFL 2.0 kicks off his season, right? I was a Defenders fan. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not going. I was a Defenders fan, and we ain't had no San Antonio. I wasn't here in San Antonio. I was stationed in Virginia, Fort Eustis, Virginia. So I drove from Fort Eustis, Virginia, which is 2 hours and a half, and I drove to the games in DC back home. And I went to the Battlehawks game. Well, I went to the Sea Dragons game, and I went to the Battlehawks game, which was amazing, man. The atmosphere was crazy.
That game was crazy. That was the last game, yeah.
Yeah, I seen you right behind the home the bench, the home bench, side on the first row, whatever. But I want to ask you, like, how do you feel about the XFL, man, and them coming to DC and everything that they have brought to DC, and how you feel about the team, the coach, just anything?
In the words of Captain Obvious, who's going to be on here in a couple weeks, football is back in DC. That's what he's been saying all season last, 3 years ago?
What about the Commanders?
Well, that's a Landover, Maryland team. So the Landover Commies, that's a different thing. That's Maryland football.
They stole from San Antonio.
So you want to talk about a name change? Let's change the name of the city unless you're going to bring it into the district. You know what I'm talking about?
That's true. That's true. I'm following.
But yeah, so I follow like all DC sports. Like I follow the DC Breeze Ultimate Frisbee team. Like like I go to the Go-Go games across the river. I was there when the Mystics won the championship.
That's cool.
So I love the arena games when we had the Valor.
Yeah.
And that was my thing then. I'm like, when we get the Valor, it's every game. And then I went to the first game, and it just the atmosphere wasn't there. Also, that's a team that went like 2-10, got a championship, and we got a banner hanging in Capital One. I don't like that. But anyway, find out XFL's coming to DC. Me and a buddy are like front row, 50-yard line. Let's do it. We're at 10 a.m. He's working at a hotel, and he's got both computers up with my credit card information ready to get our tickets and everything. I don't think we had enough money for one person to get 4 tickets, but
nice.
So we had to do it that way. And then we went to that first game, and the atmosphere is insane. They're like, the first 10,000 fans are getting one of these shields, and I'm like, 10,000.
Yeah. I got 2 of them.
I was like, it's going to be like 2,000-3,000 people there. And then we had 15,000+ people.
It was like 16,000 the first game. Yeah, I remember, man.
Insane. And it was like, in general, I've never, outside of a college game, I have never been somewhere where it's first down on defense in the stadium screaming. Like that, it's insane. I'm not even getting to the beer snake section yet. That's a party, like that's insane over there, man.
I really hope that San Antonio plays in DC next year, only because I want to contribute to that beer snake. Yeah, and I mean, I've been watching. I watch Major League Soccer too, and I mean, no disrespect to DC United, but comparing the vibe of just on TV, of course, because that's all I've been exposed to, but on TV, comparing the vibe to a DC United game versus a DC Defenders game, the Defenders are rowdy and it's a party in Audi Field. So like, yeah, good job on that.
Yeah, for those United games, that same section, the United fans are the reason there's no seats in that section. They said we don't want seats because we're not sitting down. So that's one credit to them. And they got a little pocket in that section that goes crazy with the flags and everything, real football style. But Yeah, it's not packed like a Defenders game. It's not. I mean, it's happening in all the sections at the You got people building snakes in other sections and then carrying it through the concourse and getting it over there. Like,
yeah, that's true. I was there at the Vipers game this past season, and we was building the snake up and taking it over to the side. So it's nice. I didn't do it in 2020, but this past season I did. So it was amazing.
I couldn't believe in 2020. It was like the first game. There's just 2 beer snakes, and nobody. Like, how did this happen? It was like watching ants. They're just building, and then all of a sudden they came together and connected them in the middle. And there's nobody who's leading. Like, I don't know what's going on. Nobody. It was insane.
So let's talk a little bit more about that. San Antonio definitely likes to pride themselves on having a pretty rowdy fan base, right? But you fans in DC, you definitely kind of bring the pressure. So talk to us about what it's like to be there in the stands with the beer snake going on and with all the other festivities and all the other craziness that's happening there.
I've never experienced anything like it. Feels like you're like in the beer snake section. It reminds me of being in like a championship parade crowd. Like everybody's just shaking shaking cans, throwing beer everywhere. Like for every touchdown, interception.
I want that so bad.
Yeah, that section be lit, man.
It's just
everybody
wild.
Be lit.
It's so wild. And then we definitely got our name for being rowdy when Audi Field tried to take the beer snake away game 1 of this season.
The lemon, yes.
And that's why half the fans wear something with lemons on it to every game. But yeah, that was crazy.
Well, kind of speaking to that, like being in your persona, like how is it with fan interactions just with you? Like how was it this past season coming in your gear and just people reacting to you?
It's a lot of fun when we spend the second half in the beer snake section. Me and my other buddy who just was supposed to buy 1 ticket from me game 1 of 2020, and he's been at every single game with me, the championship with me, everywhere. His name is Kyle. Shout out to Kyle. He likes to yell mean stuff at the other teams.
What's up, Kyle?
That sounds like this guy right
What's
here.
Up, my counterpart? What's up, my guy?
Yeah, you guys will get along. Oh, he'll be like, that's why Coach Johnson benched you at Kentucky. Like, I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
No. How's that 3-game losing streak, Bob Stoops?
Yeah. That's Kyle right there. You guys would get along good. But so at halftime, when we take that walk to the beer snake section, I got to stop for probably like 30, 40 pictures, and the tailgate over at Walters Bar. Shout out to Walters. Same thing. It's just so fun. It's so much fun. And everyone's just like, we're all there for like the same, you guys get this as well, the same reason of like rooting for this niche like league. It's not the league itself isn't just an underdog, but it's full of underdogs, and it's so exciting to see these guys get this second chance. To what Danny and The Rock are always saying, Player 54, League of Opportunity. It's just, you can feel that energy from all the fans. We're like there for the same reason, whether we realize it or not. It's so much fun.
Okay, so I've got to ask about this, okay, because it's already been brought up, and then we moved on. But much like the Watergate scandal, you got to come back to it later. So talk to me about the Lemongate scandal. How did that start? Where did all that come from? Why are lemons so important to the DC Defenders fan base?
So game 1, 2023 against the Sea Dragons, just like 3 years before, we're sitting on our 50-yard line seats, looking over. We see the beer snake starting to grow, and then we're like, we just barely keep seeing it. And then we're like, what's going on over there? Like, this is not, it's like almost halftime, and there's maybe like 2 rows of cups. And we're like, this is not good. Like, what is going on over there? And then we get over there, and there's like a meeting of fans freaking out. And they have security going in and just smashing the cups, taking everything out of there. And people are like on the phone with people we know at Audi Field. We've made some contacts over the last several years. But they're just like, yeah, Audi Field's not letting it happen. They're saying people are throwing, and it used to be wild. It used to be you finish your cup, you throw it towards the snake, and it would just be cups flying everywhere. And I get it, safety, but
plastic cups are a danger. Yeah.
So they had in the concourse, and the beer guys were selling these like spiked lemonades for some reason with entire half lemons in them. And that's where those lemons showed up from. They do not sell those drinks anymore. And every time you walk in through security, there's just a bucket of lemons that have been confiscated from people. But as you saw at the end of the championship game, people get lemons in.
Yeah, somehow, some way.
Yeah, but I saw a few.
Usually tucked.
Yeah.
We saw a ton. I'm sorry, DJ. I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
We saw a ton of DC fans that were there, sneaking off to our local mega grocery store, HEB, and literally smuggling in bags of lemons just to keep the tradition going at the championship game. And man, did they unfurl those at the end. And I was so happy to be there to see that.
It was at that point in time, that was the only thing that could make me kind of smile.
DJ?
Was you aware that the DJ didn't know anything about the beer snake?
When did he? Up until when?
They asked him in the interview after the season, and they was asking him anything like, just about the beer snake and what happened, and the fan interaction.
Well,
with the beer snake, and he was like, I didn't even know anything about the beer snake. I was like, what?
That's crazy. That's hard to hear.
I mean, they have a shirt.
He came on with like a few games left in the season.
Yeah.
So he missed that debacle. But
we'll chalk it up to learning experience.
Learning experience. Got
it. I will be right back. I need to go grab something.
Uh-oh. What are you going to grab?
He's up to something.
Not some Arlington shades.
No, I don't hope not. So while he's grabbing something, right? You went to the championship game. What was your experience from the championship game?
Well, first of all,
even the night before.
I know you don't want to talk about it, but we could just chop it up. We go into next season. We know we got goals for next season. Every team got goals. They want to win a chip next year. So
beautiful city. I got a tour of the basement of the Alamo. So.
Oh my God! Who told him about that?
Not me.
Who told him
Thank
about
you.
that?
I studied this morning.
Crazy. Y'all some ops, man. You know what?
I did not say a thing. I promise you. This is not have Brahmasita written on it at all.
That's crazy.
So
how you know about that? I want to ask you that.
I watched a couple sods this morning.
There you go.
I don't know where it came from, but it comes up in every episode. So
that's insane.
I love it.
Jay's not here, so he didn't hear this.
Yeah.
But watch when he hear about this.
Oh Lord.
Oh, so what's your so the question, what was your experience at the from the game? Like, just give us your
from
whole,
the party, tailgate, the game itself, like all that stuff.
First of all, where I met Brahmasita the night before at the Alamo Beer Company.
Yeah.
And when I walked up in there, me and Captain Obvious walk in there, and there's just super fans from like everywhere. Like Ball Hawk was there. Mariachi, you're up on stage. This man can sing. He's up like he lives up to the name.
She can sing too.
Mariachi.
Oh, she can. Yeah, she can sing too.
Yeah, so that night was really. Hold on, are those beers always $2 or just that night?
That night it was
just that night.
Okay.
Normally they're like $3.20.
Beer prices.
They were $3.25 normally, so I mean,
so expensive.
Wait, how much are y'all beers?
I'm not sure how much these are because shout out to City State, they gave me a whole bunch of them. So
there you go. He's got the Defender discount right there.
One of my videos, I gave them an ad without them asking, and then they gave me a bunch of stuff.
Are they still selling those at the store or no?
I'm not sure, but I can find out. They're like 2 metro stops from right here. So
okay.
Yeah, and I still got some left.
I'll be back.
We'll make it happen. And anyways, San Antonio, really cool city. Had a lot of fun that night, and then we had our tailgate. We did at Smoke Texas Barbecue? Is that
Smoke
that outdoor spot? Y'all don't like it? Well, I'll tell you what, it was awesome that day because there's about 100 Defenders fans in there.
I saw that.
And y'all missed out on the party at the tailgate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much respect to Smoke.
We didn't miss out. We're having a good time.
Yeah. and much respect to Smoke for putting that on and all the DC fans that showed up. But the real party in San Antonio, as anybody here on the board can attest to,
the tailgate.
It's in the parking lot at the Alamo Dome. It's specifically what it was designed for.
So
I guess maybe I'll see you next season. We'll see who has the home game.
It's funny that you mentioned Reddit earlier and people saying that you were a plant or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I went on Reddit and posted that, hey, like, come out to Lot B of the Alamo Dome. I'm giving out free barbecue, free beer.
Ooh, I reposted that.
Thank
see?
you.
There you
Thank you.
go.
So
Small world.
I get like, so we're there. I'm there, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a swarm of Defender fans come to the spot, and they're like, "Hey, are you the guy from Reddit?" Because I told them, I was like, "Look for the sombrero," and I'm like, "Yeah, that was me." They're like, "So this is legit? Like, you're giving it?" Like, people didn't believe me on like,
Yeah.
which I get. Reddit is full of like a bunch of liars. And so people did not believe me, and I'm like, no, like, seriously, help yourself. And the ice chest, that white one right there, community beer, just grab whatever you want.
That's
They're
awesome.
like, you're kidding me, right? And I'm like, no, for real, just go get it. Like, help yourself. Welcome to San Antonio. And they're like, we had like half of the plane talking about this post that you made. That is it real? Is it legit? Like, people didn't believe. And then they get there and they're like, oh my god, it's real. Like, wow, like, is that not a thing in DC? Like, to like
tailgate? I don't know.
To be friendly,
well, tailgate neither.
Yeah,
but
probably
no. So we don't really have
a spot for
lots.
tailgating, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we go to Walters. Walters, they're grilling. Yeah. They are serving beer outside, inside.
Which is like
they
a bar,
got like a beer
restaurant.
snake special and all this stuff. So they got a lot going on. Our plan was to come there, by the way. That's where I told even Darren Haynes, it's like a CBS sports reporter that came down for the game. I told him we were going there. He's like, we're going live on air at this time. And I was like, we're going to be in Lot B. That's the plan right now. There's a tailgate over there. All of a sudden, we have this beer snake that's like easily probably what would be like 4 rows long, which is pretty good for like, there's probably 50 people drinking most of the time at this
mobile beer
tailgate. And so I was like, there's no way I'm going to get 100 people over there. So I told Darren, I'm like, you got to come. You got to come over here. And then they did the live broadcast from there. It was a good, that I don't know if you've seen that video. That video is crazy.
Yeah.
We haven't. But definitely shout out to DC for bringing the party with them, even though the Alamo Dome wasn't going to let the beer snake. You guys did the mini beer snake, right? EWD has posted right there that they created the mini
Twitter all over
to the stadium.
I got little videos of them walking in probably with it.
That's the beer snake we built over at Smoke, Texas.
Even our favorite security guard came over and took pictures with it. That's how cool this is. But because we got love for you in San Antonio, especially during the championship game, Jackie made something, well, because of my encouragement, Jackie made a little something to welcome you guys your first time to San Antonio during the regular season.
I'm sure they've seen it. It was all over Twitter and everything.
Go ahead and show that. That's the the step on beer snake.
Step on snake.
Step on beer snake.
Oh no.
Step on snake.
No.
They was at the stadium. I'm sure you've seen them.
Because
couple
we
of
wanted to welcome
every
you guys.
corner.
Well, 3 Texas teams were rooting against us in that stadium. I'll tell you that.
Only during the
I didn't see a lot of Renegades fans.
During regular
he
season.
didn't see the sign, Jorge.
Yeah, only during the regular season. During the playoffs, at least half of the panel here was rooting for DC.
Except for the other guy next to you over there. Wait, over there.
This guy was not
here.
I had Arlington.
That guy up there had Arlington. That's why he's wearing those creepy shades.
That's because he's from DC and he.
There you go. See, makes
this
sense.
guy right here.
There
Jorge,
you go.
can you get your sign?
I'd have to run to inside my house. So
Okay.
I had a sign that had the Renegades logo, because you'd think, oh, he's from Texas, he's gonna go for the Renegades, right? No. My mariachi bow tie, which we call the moño, I specifically wore a red one for you guys. I had a sign with the Renegades logo with a big red no sign across it. And it was the second time that I got unanimous. I got serenaded with booze from the Alamo Dome, from my own stadium.
How dare you root against Texas?
How dare you root against Texas? How dare you root against Arlington Renegades? And the thing is that I also, like, people are starting to figure out I just don't. I have a bone to pick with the entire Dallas area and the Renegades in general. So I just wanted to say I will take a bullet for you guys, and I was so happy when I got booed, and it's also because they showed it on the jumbotron multiple times. So I know that Danny Garcia, good old DJ, all the XFL top brass, they know how I feel about the team in Arlington, and they know that they're. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I am not a believer in once I'm out, I'm rooting for my division. I'm not a believer in that. I don't want anyone in my division to have rings over me.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. I mean, that's true. That's a good way to look at it. But, as you said, that's the reason why I didn't want DC to win. Because my family and all them, my cousins, he's in the comments, Leroy, but all of them was DC this, DC that, we coming and da-da-da-da. Okay. Hey,
yeah, you're right.
They got Luis Perez, man. That's all I'm saying. And he just followed me on Threads. Hey,
that's nothing to brag about.
That is something to brag about. Why you hating on Luis, man?
Man,
because he plays for the wrong. He should have stayed with the Vipers.
No,
the headset broken.
Why would you say that when he got a chip with Arlington?
He looked pretty good in yellow and gray. I'm just saying.
But so obviously we know how the championship kind of turned out. So, the whole, I kind of want to get your thoughts on this as a fan of the Defenders. So
all right,
the whole season, you guys obviously are, between you at first half of the season, everyone's like, oh, the Roughnecks are the kings of the XFL. They're undefeated since 2020. And meanwhile, here come the Defenders in the background. And then finally, Roughnecks go down halfway at the season, the way that I had been predicting, because that's what happens to a Wade Phillips coach team. But then, out of nowhere, the loss to Orlando happens. So how was that received by the DC fans?
So for me personally, every game was more and more surprising. And it was some close, like week 1, they fumbled, the Sea Dragons fumbled on the 1, and that's how we won the game. Like, that's crazy.
Oh,
it just keeps getting, I'm more and more surprised until the game you're talking about, because as you know, DJ, I am a DC sports fan, so I was not surprised by that because that's what we do.
Yeah, we used to it.
It's a lot of President's trophies hanging in Capital One Arena. But yeah, that one. What's crazy about that game? I didn't realize I was making like a highlight video after the season. We played a really good game offensively against them, against Orlando. Like, some of our best highlights are from that game, and I couldn't believe how many highlights from that game I was trying to put into this compilation. But that one hurt because that would have clinched the playoffs, and I'm used to DC teams taking it all the way to Game 7. So I'm like, we're not going to clinch the playoffs till week 10 if we even do. Like, I was like, I'm ready for heartbreak at all turns. So that was a wild one, but 10-1 before the championship is insane. We could have never. We could have never. I
had definitely kept my eye on DC. I was like, these guys are monsters, especially, and then the guys played against Arlington, and this is why I believe that the Wave is cursed. I made a video about it too, where every time a team starts doing the Wave, bad things happen. And so sure enough, there's 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter against the game against Arlington that you guys had. And then the crowd starts doing the Wave, and I'm like, oh no, they don't know. And then the game ends up going to overtime, but you guys were up by like 2 or 3 scores, and then they just came back and did it. And then, you guys come and play against San Antonio team that's fighting for life. We're on life support. We're fighting for our life. And then we iced our kicker, who was Mr. Automatic, and we missed the playoffs by 2 feet,
Every time you mention it breaks my heart every time.
But it sounds like, having those close games against teams that on paper don't look so good, and in Arlington's case just aren't good. You guys are used to that. Like,
I was terrified of that Renegades game during the regular season. And then after it being, I love these shootouts. I love these football shootouts for overtime, but I don't want to be a part of it.
I love
don't
it.
ever want to see my team doing it.
Don't, man. It's the worst.
Yeah, I saw some people leaving that day. Not people that I see every week, but people were leaving, and I'm like, it's like we saw what St. Louis did in the middle of the season. There's no
Our first
if you're
game.
down by 10, 15, it doesn't matter.
I think it was like 18 points they were down by.
You're down by 18 points. It's a 2-possession game essentially.
Right.
So you'll see videos of them zooming in on me in the end zone during that. And I don't know if it's where you see the wave behind me, but during the wave, this is me. I'm freaking out the whole time. Same thing when I went down to St. Louis. Like, everyone was texting me like, yeah, it's over. And then I'm like, it's St. Louis. Like, it's St. Louis. And I'm outnumbered in that stadium.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So let me jump in here real quick and ask you this, right? You said, it's St. Louis when you were playing Orlando. It's just Orlando. Was that feeling reciprocated when you went up against San Antonio? Or were you guys a little more nervous about that game?
Well, no. I think we clinched because we clinched with the Renegades.
Right.
We clinched with that game against the Renegades. So
when you gave them the L?
I think it just didn't matter. Yeah.
Okay. Because us being San Antonio fans, like we were there at the game, right? We had our hopes up. I don't think that DC eased off on us in any way, or at least I hope not. But I'd have to say, as a San Antonio fan, I'm pretty proud of the effort that was put out there, that we kept it as close as we did.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and that it literally came down to one kick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so
nice
things
kick at that.
Yes, things obviously did not break our way this season. However, I think overall, and this is going to be a shameless plug for the Brahmas, of course. I think that we had a pretty admirable season, all things considered, with
respect.
Our offensive line changing positions and players literally every game.
Mm-hmm.
And just the quarterback issues that we had and all the things that we were up against to even be able to duke it out with the best team arguably in the XFL and only lose by 1 point. I mean, that's pretty insane.
That definitely was they definitely was the best team. They definitely was the best team.
Yeah. So
I mean, I would have, in retrospect, would rather y'all won that game.
Hey, we wanted to win it ourselves, man.
Yeah, we did.
As soon as the Renegades beat Houston, I was terrified. And everyone's like, oh, they won like 4 games. And I'm like, they beat Houston. Like, they almost beat us.
From an outsider looking in and us being like fans, and we follow the team, to a T. So, for us, that was like Jay said, that was a huge game for us to win, at least, because we could have got in there. But man, like, you talk about all the stuff that we've been throughout the whole season, like the close games and we could have did this differently. We could have won this game. We could have, if we did this, that, but we did battle a lot of injury. So, I mean, but like I said, for that game, we should have definitely took that game, man. But hey, I mean, he kicking in with the Lions now, so
yeah,
that's true.
That's all true. That, yeah.
So, let me ask the next important question.
All right.
DC Defender, what is next for you?
2024 season.
Right.
No, what is next? Next.
What next? Are you upgrading your costume? Are you coming in on a armored
white steed?
Are you changing your wardrobe? You gonna keep the same wardrobe or what?
I gotta do. There are pieces of this costume that haven't seen the light of day, but I gotta do some maintenance. I gotta do some maintenance first. I got like in St. Louis, I put a pin in here to keep this from choking me out. There's like a lot of maintenance issues. I've learned a lot from Captain Obvious, who's been one of the number 1 sports fans in DC for a long time. This man has a T-shirt version of his costume for when it rains, and I've learned a lot of like we were talking before, Brahmaseed, about him being sneaky. I learned some stuff I can't share that will really benefit me. but I can't share his trade secrets. But I'll say that he got on the field after the game of the championship game.
Oh man,
Captain Obvious did.
Yeah, actually, I got to go on the field as well. I went. So we were there. We were having our Stephon Diggs moment forever. We were in there for 2 hours after the game ended, and we're just staring at the confetti. And I was crying a little bit. Other people were crying a little bit. And I saw this red in the one corner of the other end zone. So we went over there, and it was the families going onto the field. So I tried to get on the field, and they stopped. They stopped us. But then I'm like reaching over, I see like Abram and Ta'amu, and I'm like, man, you don't know what this season meant to the city. You don't know what it meant to these fans. Like, thank you so much. And then I had never met Coach Reggie Barlow yet. And I see him from across. I point at him, and he comes over. And then we're like talking, and then we're like, oh, can we get a quick picture? He's like, yeah, come down here. And I look over at security, and then he looks at them, and he goes, they're family. And then we go down there. I walk down there. I'm standing in front of Coach Reggie, and he just puts his arms out and gives me a big hug. I was like, this is awesome. And we got to be down there, take photos, chat with everybody, tell them how much everything meant. We had a similar moment. We were on the field in 2020 when Pep Hamilton was running into we had just lost those 2 road games, like a combined 60-something to like 9 or something.
Oh,
and Tampa we won all our home games.
60,
yeah, LA,
nice.
Tampa and LA, and Tampa, yeah.
And they're like jogging into the tunnel. He looks over and sees me and my buddy Kyle. Shout out to Kyle again. And he just runs over to us, and he puts his arm, like huddles around us, and he's like, "We need you today." And I was like, "Oh." Kyle's like, "I'm never washing this shoulder." So that was
true. I love Kyle. I've never met Kyle, and I love him.
Is Kyle the one that wear the lemon shield?
No, that's DC Lemon guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like a football.
Oh, okay.
And then I got to tell you all a story also with player interaction of when I'm in St. Louis. I go to St. Louis. It's like St. Patty's Day weekend, so I'm like, I got to find an Irish bar. So I leave. We rented this little condo. I walk out. There's an Irish bar on the corner. I'm like, this is it. I'm in this place for probably like 6 hours. I had cashed out twice, and it's March Madness, so I just keep staying. And then I met the Skycam guy. He travels around and does the Skycam at different places. So I'm like, this is the coolest night ever. And then all of a sudden, someone taps me on the shoulder, and I look over, and I got to look way up, and it's Dan Whelan, our punter.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "It's you." And I was like, "It's you." And he's like, "You're him." And I got like glasses on, a hoodie. Like I'm not me in this moment. I'm not decent. And he's like, "It's you. You're him." I'm like, "You're him." And then he goes, "Make that 5 Irish car bombs." And I was like, I'm like, "Who else is here?" And he hands me 2, and he goes, "Give that to Abram." And I'm like, "Smith?" I'm like, "Oh my God." So I go over, I'm hanging out with like 4 defenders, just chatting, drinking, having a good time. At a certain point, I'm like, "Yo, y'all need to get the hell back to the hotel. Like, this is enough. Y'all are cut off." But then Abram Smith goes, 217, 3
Crazy.
touchdowns that game. I keep turning around to the fans behind me, and I'm like, "And we did Irish car bombs last night, and he did that." Because I got a little confident. When I walked in there, though, it was a little scary. The boos were raining down.
Nice. So, what's going to be the next scandal for next year for DC?
I mean, hopefully we don't have another Lemongate. Hopefully
they let the beer snake rock.
That's going to go, man. Lemons is going to be
lemons are forever.
Yeah, they're forever. It's good for forever. I don't see nothing replacing that.
Yeah, what I really hope is we had so many night games, so many Sunday, Monday night games, and I really hope we get some more noon. I think we had 1 noon game.
That's
and
terrible,
then maybe we look at my schedule: 8 p.m., 7 p.m., 7 p.m., 7 p.m. Yeah, we had 1 noon game against the Renegades, and then the 3 p.m. was that playoff game. So, and those were the games where the beer snake went all the way up and wrapped around. So I hope we get a Saturday game.
Nice.
Did those night games mess y'all up? Like, as fans, like, were you guys talking about the schedule a lot or no?
I mean, I missed a lot of work. the next day. My alarm goes off at 3:30 in the morning to go to work. So
Nope.
Did you really miss work though?
Yeah, that first game was 8 p.m. and I put it on the schedule at work, and then beyond that, I just called out after every game.
Nice.
I remember our game. We had a game that was supposed to be at 9 p.m. on a Sunday, and I'm just like, what? So they did us a solid and flexed us. They flexed us to 8 p.m. instead, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I mean, I'm sure you're the same way. After the games, you're just drained of all energy. You're beat. Yeah. Everything, you left it all in the stadium.
Drunk.
I remember. I mean, I would probably every tailgate I'd probably throw back about 5 of these bad boys right here and there. I mean, they're what 19 ounces. So, I was feeling pretty good. And then like the next day at work, I gotta pretend to be happy to be there. And so I'm hoping next season the schedule is kinder to all of us fans. Because it was brutal. But I mean, would you say it was worth it?
Oh, it's always worth it. It's 100% worth it. I've never had more fun in my life. Even in San Antonio, that day, short of 3 hours of it, was pretty close to probably the best day of my life. We had so much fun. It's just, like I said, you guys know this with your fan atmosphere. There's nothing like it. People are always like, oh, hanging out with the Defenders fam. I'm like, this is family. This is crazy. It's so weird that something that means this much to me didn't exist like 3.5 years ago. It's so weird.
I feel you.
They calling you Robert calling you a weakling, Jorge, man. He said only 5?
Well, that's 5 in the tailgate. I didn't count the ones I did in the stadium.
I was gonna say, we got our traditions. We gotta have our 2 Bud Lights at Walters. It's a minimum. Depends what time we get there. It could be 10. And then we have our one lady that we go to get our 2 tall boys. I got my you can't see it, but I got my holster right here for the one. And
that's crazy.
By halftime though, they cut us off at halftime, even on the noon game. They don't do that for anyone else at Audi Field, but they don't like us. No disrespect to Audi Field, we love it there. I
thought they cut y'all off at the end of third.
That's what they do everywhere, ever. That's what they do at Audi Field for every other team.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they cut us off at the end of third period. DC parties a little bit harder in the paint than we do, apparently.
Yeah, so. I just don't really like. I mean, I don't know. That's money for them, so
that's true.
It is
driving, but getting on the train and stuff.
It's also. I mean, it could be a liability too. So I understand where they're coming from, but still,
but they have the metro.
On the
I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah, it's
take it as a compliment.
I can guarantee it. It's definitely because of the beer snake.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful stadium. I'm really like the luck of us happening to have a brand new MLS stadium when this started was awesome because that is a really nice stadium.
I mean, when you have a name with Audi attached to it, it's got to be top notch. So
yeah,
money.
So, Mr. DC Defender, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up here. But before we let you go, shameless plug time. Shout out your social media connections. Let people know where they can find you and they can follow you. That way they can be entertained by your antics all season long next season. Go.
That'll be at @district_defender on Instagram. I'm on those other apps, the Twitter and the TikTok. I don't know how to use none of that stuff. You'll see like 3 of the videos throughout the year go on there. A lot of people repost the stuff to Facebook, so that helps. I don't have to deal with that. I do want to shout out, obviously, Captain Obvious, Washington Road Warrior, Defender Doug, Defender Carey, who helped me pick that venue that you don't like, Smoketown, for our tailgate. And Evan is the head of the Beer Snake. This is the defender of the Beer Snake, the man that stands there holding the bottom of the Beer Snake like this the entire game. This man doesn't really drink at all and plays that role.
MVP.
Are you sure?
He's awesome.
I'm kidding. So
I try to sneak him some.
You don't do the MySpace for your social media or anything like that?
No MySpace, no Zanga, no Friendster.
That's the running joke here because I'm the oldest on the panel.
He said he visited the Alamo basement too.
Oh, you
did?
I got
a tour of the basement. Yeah.
Nice. Did you see the bike down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was surprised it was an electric bike. It was really weird.
Electric.
All right.
I think it's planted there.
DC Defender, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Yes,
Truly,
thank you.
we could
Cheers
not
to
do
you.
this show without guys like you, and we could not support this league without the efforts of super fans everywhere around the
Hear,
league.
hear.
So shout out to
Appreciate
you.
y'all. Shout out to all the super fans. Y'all have a place to stay in DC. And if we're coming to San Antonio this season, I'll be there.
Bet.
Come to the
We will see
tailgate.
you there, my friend.
And I'll be at the tailgate this time. All right, y'all.
All right.
Thank you again, man.
Have a good
Have a great
weekend.
night. Horns forward, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
Oh, I love his energy. He's so awesome.
So again, there for a second. Definitely shout out to DC and all their
Oh,
friends.
no,
Now DJ puts his hat on.
I
Such a
can't.
child.
I
What?
cannot.
Stop
Oh,
hating.
Oh,
man.
and he takes the shades off too.
I can't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I'm
the,
gonna
the
put mine
cartoon,
on
the
now.
cartoon
Oh
that
my
I
God.
have, it has shades on. So what's
You're
wrong
in a
with
whole
that?
wardrobe.
Why y'all just so complaining? I'm back. I missed one episode. Now y'all all just complaining and doing all this.
Because
Bro,
you come
Let
back
me put
wearing
my shades back on, man.
Oh, here you go.
Robert, it's the Firefox on the disc. Was that it? What did we get in the mail back in the day?
No, it was a AOL.
Yeah, AOL. There you go.
Hey.
There you go. I'm trolling on AOL, dog.
Yeah, y'all don't
I
even
know,
know.
Brahma. I missed you last week. I heard you did something in DC. I remember. I'm trying to couldn't remember what it was, but something.
Hold up. DJ, you're getting called out here. Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
See what happened?
Man.
See
See, I
what
you know what? That's
Even
true.
your-
That's true.
Even
'cause
your
it-
own people be
I
doing
know.
you bad dirty.
I,
Look,
man.
look,
I see it. I see it.
I'm gonna
I
say
see it.
this. Jimmy, I keep saying Jimmy's on all the Brahma stuff, and then he ends up moving to
I was about to
watch
say,
DC.
if I'm a
Who's
bandwagon,
really-
he's a traitor.
Who's really
He's
the
a traitor.
bandwagoner?
He's a
Who's really
traitor.
the-
He is a
Come on,
traitor, I will
Papa.
I'm in
say.
San Antonio now. What's up?
You could call Arlington all day long, but you're on my Brahma's page, and now you're in my city, so
In our comments, look at that.
I don't know.
On our
Yes.
page comments, all over. Jimmy is everywhere. Caps lock all over the place.
Oh, it's my boy Luke Swain. What up, Flexin' Texan? What's up, baby?
Who is Luke? Talk to us. Who is that?
Luke's one of my old coworkers. We've known each other for several years. He's got an awesome Jeep. He's part of an incredible Jeep club. By the way, Luke, you need to get your Jeep friends out here to the Brahmas games. They can come out and tailgate with us. They can run over stuff in the parking lot. Man, we got plenty of activities for you. But he went from having a Jeep that had like 44s on it and a license plate that said too wide. We're not going to touch what that comment means.
That's the next-
Only
that's
horns.
the
Only
next
horns.
show.
That's for the next
Only
show.
horn.
Only horns, baby. But he changed it to Flexin' Texan because he's a pretty buff, athletic individual. And so it makes sense, Flexin' Texan, and also flexing with the Jeep and everything. So that's my guy, Luke Swain.
But did you see his
What's
comment
up,
though?
baby? Huh?
Did you read his comment or you just saw his name?
No, I saw his
kinda-
comment.
He kind of grilled on you a little bit.
I mean, I wonder that sometimes too. 'Cause he-
With
he
all the
like,
lagging.
Hey,
He got the Ethernet still plugged up, man.
AOL, baby. Don't hate.
See?
Don't hate.
Hey Jay, what kind of glasses are those, man?
These are Oakley's, baby.
Them look like some 80 like porn.
It's like Terminator.
Porn star glasses.
Oh, those are like the old school Oakleys too.
Oh my god.
Old school Oakley's.
Them
Because
like
I'm old school, man. Come on.
them blocking like half your eyes, man.
Hey, 99
the
cents
ones
for the
that-
glasses. I don't want to hear it, okay?
The ones that block half your eyes are the Heinz Ward specials, all right? And those I am proud
And then
to
they
be
go
owners of.
way down on your cheeks too.
All right,
Yeah.
Jared showing his age on here.
Oh,
The AOL chat room was lit.
Hey, dude,
well.
IRC, baby. That's the only way to
Wow.
roll.
oh my god. Okay, we need to get to
What we got?
Brahma's.
What we got?
Okay,
we
Back
had
on track, Brahma stuff. Jackie, what do you got for us?
No, we had something go on today in Houston, and our coach was there. Was he not?
Our
100%.
fearless leader, Coach Ward, scouting for
Showing
new
up.
talent.
Yeah, I'm looking for some new Brahmas. I don't know if anybody jumps on, but when XFL goes live on Instagram, I usually go and check out all the men running around in their
Yep.
shorts and numbers.
Now,
Just look at the talent.
He
ahead,
wasn't
Jay.
wearing his capri pants today, though.
He wasn't. He had shorts on.
No, But he's
maybe them in season form. Maybe
off season wear. Off season wear.
So
I mean,
are they?
It's kind of
are
hot
these
for those capris.
are these reps at every game? Like, is each team reps at each showcase? Because I don't think so.
I don't think the head coaches are at every showcase, but I'm pretty sure that there's some sort of talent scout for each team at the game. But they're probably behind the scenes.
And my cousin was at the DC one. He said he only saw Reggie Barlow and Von Hutchins, which is the DPP for DC. He didn't see any other teams there. I was curious.
Maybe not the coaches.
Well, that's what I'm
even
saying.
even DPPs. Maybe
that's what I'm saying though. Is there may be people that are assigned to certain teams, but they're all going to be wearing XFL stuff. So that way, there's no like, oh, that's a Brahmas guy.
Type of thing,
like, there's no like. Obviously, being in DC, you're going to see Reggie Barlow and DC staff there because you're in their city. But I think, and obviously, you can't put Hines Ward there with an XFL polo and be like, no, my name is Wines Hard or something like that. You know, like
Wines what? Did you say Wines Hard?
Wines Horde, yeah, like you can't like, so obviously there's gonna be when they're close to it, and I know Coach lives in Houston, so it was an easy drive for him to make.
Wines Hard.
Yeah, there you go. Wines Hard.
Hey, only horns, man.
Only horns. That's an only horns comment.
No, that's the next hour.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, but didn't Coach Ward say something about having relocated to Texas? So he lives in Houston. Not that far. Well,
he lives in Houston.
I don't want to say where the dude lives, and
Houston's a big city.
I mean, yeah, you can't kind of pinpoint.
Maybe he's in dirty Pasadena. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Stinkadena
right there. Stinkadena.
You're gonna have the whole state of Texas. Other than San Antonio. No. Had a whole state of Texas after you.
No. They already came after me because I did not call it Stinkadena. I called it Stinky Pasadena. They're like, no,
you bagged on Houston. You bagged on Arlington. You don't even know. Have you bagged on Austin yet?
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
Bagged on Austin. The whole state of Texas is going to be after you. You're gonna have to get the.
That's fine.
You're gonna have to get the Texas with the circle on it with the red X because that's the only thing that's. We only can see you for that. You bag on the whole state of Texas.
No, I just bag on.
Well, you did that in the Alamo Dome, and San Antonio fans that was rooting for Arlington started booing you.
Well, they were Arlington fans that day, is what I'm saying.
No, they were San Antonio fans too.
They were Arlington. That day they were Arlington fans.
Look, I was sitting by some San Antonio fans at the game too, and they was just like, "We always going to go for Texas. We always going." I was like, even though. Like it's a rivalry type of thing.
If it was Houston, I'd have gone for Houston. Go, drill, baby, drill, or whatever they say.
Drill, baby, drill.
But
drill, daddy, drill.
No, that's for the next show.
That's the next hour, sir.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Look, there are hometown Homer fans, right? And because their team is in X division, they're going to root for any other team that's in that division, right?
Show.
At least it's going to represent our division.
Yeah.
There's other people like Jorge that have a beef with specific teams in that division, so they're not going to root for any team in that division, right?
So if Austin gets a team, would you root for Austin as well? Or you
No, Austin doesn't. Austin does. Austin.
You're riling up. DJ.
They can go.
They
can go have the Austin Wranglers in the USFL.
Is it just like the Arlington hate? Is this just all Arlington hate? No other cities in Texas.
I don't mind. Dude, I was doing shots of tequila in the stands with Houston fans in Houston. So, like, this is the way that I've described it. Look, Houston and San Antonio. Yes, there's a rivalry, but we're homies. All right, we're the ones that we're gonna be having a cookout.
You homies, not with them, not me.
Well, that's your deal. That's your deal.
I think Jorge. I think you're the only one that pulls for other Texas teams, man.
However,
when this season on, it's San Antonio versus Texas.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that.
You're taking shots with Houston fans,
but hang on real quick.
Okay, go ahead, Jay.
I think it's only fair that we throw a disclaimer in here.
Oh Lord,
that Jorge has a problem with the city of Arlington, and Dallas and South Oklahoma, that whole area up there. But the fans, the super fans, what are they?
Banditos.
Yeah,
No,
the Banditos.
you got it right. You got it right.
Right.
He said,
Those guys are cool.
The
nobodies.
The Banditos.
Y'all
Those
lucky
guys
they
are
not in the comments because they be
Their
grilling y'all too.
fans, their fans were solid. They were very gracious to us.
Nah,
they
they
were
good
gracious
people.
when they came down
They
to
good
San Antonio for the
Mhm.
championship game. It's not really those people. It's the city and the odd
The
guys that
BMW
kind of live in
drivers.
there. Right? Is that a fair assessment, Jorge?
Did you say
Yeah.
delivery drivers?
The
Oh.
BMW drivers.
Oh, I'm about to say, God, what FedEx and U-Haul do? I mean, not U-Haul. UPS do for you. What can they do for you? What do they do for you? What can they do
Who
for
are
you?
you?
So like, look, Houston, this is what I was getting at. Houston and San Antonio, I've learned by experiencing them both in our stadium and in their stadium, they're the ones that we're going to have a cookout together and we're going to share beers. However, Arlington is going to be the neighbor who's looking through the blinds and going to call a noise complaint the second that they're like, oh, nope, the decibel level went up to 91 and it's only supposed to be 90. Police, I need you to stop this party right now. So that's what I'm getting at, because that's how they are.
Is that true that you only with Northwest Texas and Southwest Texas?
I mean, I'm
What's
good
in
with South
Northwest
Texas.
Texas.
Northwest
He said
Texas. I mean,
Southwest.
Panhandle's pretty cool, I guess.
I mean, I have no issues with the Panhandle. I got no issues with Chucotown. I got no issues with, like I said,
Chucotown.
Houston. I got
El
no
Paso?
issues. That's Chucotown.
Oh, okay.
I got no issues with Laredo, with the Valley, with Corpus. San Antonio obviously is home. Austin, I honestly don't have issues with, other than them trying to steal our toys. Dallas, yeah, y'all already know.
Yep.
Well, that comment is for you, Jorge.
Oh,
that Kyle Richardson right there.
Oh, wait a minute. This one right here. Ouch.
No.
Oh no,
Those
That one
the
doesn't.
Banditos?
Not that one. The one below it.
I know, but that be Jimmy. Those
That-
are your own people, man.
Them your
Come
people,
on.
man. How you not know them?
Oh, he knows who they are. He's trying to show off. Let's move
Let's
on.
see. Okay, so this one. Okay, so I know you guys want me to talk about this one. Never understood hating another team. We are all passionate and support our team, and that's where it starts and that's where it ends. I have to disagree. I take it a step further, especially when your team has number backup. Especially.
No, that's him acting up tonight. That's not me. That's him.
I'm gonna call out a specific player too. A specific player.
No, hey, Robert need to be blocked, man. Robert got to be blocked.
I'm getting cramp in my back from laughing so hard.
This is not say cramp in my back.
When your team has an amazing backup like number 14 QB Kevin Anderson, who went 1 for 2 for water bottle passing in the championship game, for the Renegades, I'm going to take it up a notch. So I never understood hating another team. They exist, therefore I hate them. If they didn't exist, I wouldn't hate them. They could relocate the Renegades to San Diego, and I would have no issues with them.
Oh, my Lanta. I cannot.
Go ahead,
Well,
Can you put up Robert's comment about
No,
the
don't
Chiefs?
put that up.
the one that he loves, DJ.
Right here.
That one.
Oh,
100%. DJ, I'm sorry. That was funny, dude.
He must have had a couple Brahma beers as well, too. He had to have a couple.
Hey, but he
been
followed it up
going
with
crazy
this
in the
one.
comments.
He loves
I
you.
know. That's my guy.
all right. We're going to get on track because we're going to wrap up the show, but I got a few announcements. So we're going to feature a little one of the vendors each week coming up to our community event on August 5th. So the first one we are going to feature this week is our lovely karaoke, Dragonfly Karaoke. You can find her on Facebook. She is going to be there. Her name is Nikki. She's amazing. She's also an amazing, legit singer. So look up of having fun for the event. So that's just the first one. We got a couple more announcements that we need to share also. So let me bring this up. So let me share this. Let me share this with you guys. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't
Look
see
at
it,
that.
Look at them Arlington shades on DJ.
Oh Lord.
Y'all told him to put it on there, so
No, you.
yes.
Anyways, so we want to just give a shout out to Zip Draw. He does some amazing work. He's done all of the work for Horns Forward podcast, all of our logos. This is the one he drew up of all of us. I'm going to show his little pricing right now. He does have a special, so sending love his way. Look him up on Facebook. He's got the special going. You can watch him live, draw you, do your input, all that good stuff. So we just want to give him a little quick shout out. And then
he has done other fans besides us as
yes,
well. So he has done Mr. Bull, John, and he did an amazing job with him. So if you're interested, reach out to Zip and he'll take care of you.
Yeah, he's also we posted it on our page as well. And I think to wrap it up, next week's guest. So this guy.
Oh, he's so much
that
fun.
guy.
Oh,
You know that guy.
I know that guy. Yes.
Ball Hawk One will be joining us next week, so we're super excited to have him on. But that's it for me, guys. That's all I got on my end.
That show is going to be absolutely awesome, and I'm so looking forward to the opportunity to get to visit with him one more time.
Yeah, he's a good
Animated
guy.
character
Lots of fun
for sure.
But we'll end it off as we always do. Before we go, I do want to remind you that we are going to have an after show on the Viva Texas YouTube channel. It's called Only Horns, Horny After Dark.
Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
I'm
We
not
are a
a
little
part
bit-
of the second part. Just
We are.
Brown cow.
We are a little bit more raw and uncensored on that show, so I would
Just
say
a little bit.
if there's
This man
kids
say, ooh.
listening, maybe
She
put them to bed.
said yes. Oh my goodness.
But on
This
the
ain't for
plus
the
side,
littles, man.
Not too little.
it is a ton of fun to hang out there and just chit chat.
To hang
And,
out there.
Talk
Yeah.
trash. Come
Yeah.
on, Robert. Come over to the Only Horns.
You can talk
Not the
all the
second
trash
part, but just
that
the only
you
horns.
you can talk all the trash you want. So go ahead and join us over there. We'll be live there in a couple minutes. Like we always end it, horns forward and
Horns forward,
Arlington.
baby.
Hope you
Let's
don't exist.
Go.
Boop, boop.